Hello, everybody.
Hello and welcome to our G5 Family channel.
Yeah, all right, all right. What's today?
Today is our 4th anniversary in the Philippines.
That's right.
Yeah.
On October 8th, 2021, we are we celebrating or are we just
We're
making...
celebrating.
Well, sure, we're celebrating 4 years in the Philippines. On October 8th, 2017, we got on an airplane and we flew over and landed here on October 8th, 24 hours later, and resumed life as we know it here in the Philippines. So 4 years. That's a long time.
Years.
What have we accomplished in 4 years?
We survived.
That's true.
Survived.
That's true. We survived. I mean, imagine, lifting your life up and moving to another country. And yeah, so to say that we survived, that's saying something. That's true. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Did you survive?
Yeah, and happy. So 4 years, that's a long time. What else have we accomplished?
We have a baby.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
So we brought 2 children with us. We brought Grace. She was 4. Glory was less than a year. Glory was only about 10 months. And so the Philippines is really all she knows. And then a year ago, on September 22nd, we had a new baby, Miss Little Galia Rain. And if you follow our social media, you've already met her. Something else that I'm, not as exciting as having a new baby, but something else I'm proud of is about 2 years ago, I started the paperwork process and I accomplished my permanent resident visa. Now, for our friends and family, that's not citizenship. I'm not a Filipino citizen. I'm still an American citizen, but I acquired my 13A permanent resident visa, which never expires. It's almost the next best thing as being a citizen, in terms of those sorts of benefits. But the good news is, as I'm no longer a tourist or a temporary stay, so there's no expiration and stuff like that. I'll just leave it at that. So that's a good thing.
So we want to go back to the US.
Sure, to visit.
Yes.
We're asked at different times if we are thinking about moving back to the U.S. and no, I mean, I do believe this is where God wants us. If God wants us to go back to the U.S., then we will. But for now, we just feel that this is where God has us, and we feel like we have a purpose here, and we're taking care of Gina Lynn's elderly mother and father and supporting them. And so among a lot of other things, we really believe that this is where God has us for now and for the long term. Again, unless God directs us otherwise, I expect that we'll live here, live out our days here. But yes, we definitely want to return to the U.S. We want to visit our families, our friends. There's a long list of restaurants that we would love to visit, as well as other foods that are not available here in the Philippines. But yeah, so we definitely want to get back. I don't want to make this video about the COVID crisis or pandemic, but in terms of travel right now, it would be sketchy. I'll just put it that way. Could we buy a flight and travel back to the US? Sure, we could. But could we buy a flight to return to the Philippines? Maybe. But that's too sketchy for my comfort. I want to wait until we know for sure that we can purchase a round-trip flight, go there, do our visit, and return with no hiccups or no issues or no delays or no restrictions, that kind of a thing. Right now, the travel restrictions, the Philippines actually requires you to have a visa prior to traveling to the Philippines, where previous to the pandemic you could more or less come and go as you please. So right now it's just too sketchy. I think sketchy is the right word. It's too unpredictable, too many uncertainties to take the risk of leaving what is now our home. But yeah, enough about that. One thing I think about, she said survive. When I think about our life here in the Philippines, it's it's more than surviving. We're really thriving here. You know, we have a great life. We had a great life in the U.S. We lifted up out of Nashville. We moved to Texas for a few months to spend time with my family there, and then we sorted out our stuff and packed everything down and shipped our stuff to the Philippines. We landed here, and we more or less resumed life. I mean, we still have to go to the grocery store. We still have to buy gas for the car. We still have all of the normal life stuff, but so in that regard, it's very much the same. It's very, very different living here in the Philippines than living in the U.S., but it's also very much the same. You know, we have other videos that talk about the different things that stuff like that. So, but yeah, just a short video to talk about our 4th year anniversary date and sort of make mention of that. And as far as I'm concerned, we can wrap it up by saying that life is good. We're happy. Our kids are thriving. I mentioned Grace and Glory earlier. Grace speaks the local language fluently now. Glory is a little softer spoken, but she also understands it and speaks it if she needs to. Galia, our newest baby, of course, will not know any difference. And in the U.S., we have a term called Spanglish, Spanish and English mixed. I think it'll be very much the same here, you know, with speaking.
Taglish.
Well, Tagalog. For those of you who don't know, Tagalog is the Philippines' national language. But there's many different languages and dialects across the Philippines. Where we are, the local dialect is Visayan, and it's actually a dialect of Cebuano. Cebuano is the language, Visayan is the dialect, and I don't think there's a word like Spanglish for Visaya English. Vislish. But anyway, you know, Grace is in the 3rd grade. When she came here, she was preschool. She's now attended kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and she's in her 3rd grade. Glory started kindergarten this year. Just if you're curious, they're doing school by what they call modules, which is online. So essentially homeschooling. Gina Lynn more or less stands in as teacher and helps them through their studies. But yeah, life is good. We're thriving. We're moving forward. God has blessed us. We've been able to do some things to help people around us, which I won't get into any of that, but just to say that God we really have a great purpose here, and we really love our life here. So yeah, 4 years.
Yes, 4 years.
So stay tuned. And by the way, we thank you all for your subscribing, for your support of our different YouTube and different channels, our G5 family channels and stuff like that. Thanks for tuning in, and
God bless.
God bless.
God bless you all, and see you all in our next video.
Yes. All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.